We are in the hash marks. The stick doesn't have hash marks, but you know what I mean. Hey, it's Freeman here with the Freeman's Garage extra video for you. A little behind the scenes action with our 67 Chevy C10. Right now we're going to do a little bit of preparation on our C10 here for a test drive with our new to us engine that we just swapped in. I got a partial list here, which it's a few things, but it's probably actually going to end up being triple. I'm not sure what all videos you have seen on the regular Freeman's Garage channel and the Freeman's Garage extra channel that you're watching right now, but in a very tiny nutshell, we did a grueling engine swap in this truck, and it's finally to the point where the engine is in the truck, it runs, but there's some loose ends that need to be tied up before this classic can hit the pavement. The very first thing we need to do is to check our oil level. I know we're gonna have to add some to be able to safely run this engine any longer than we did over on Freeman's Garage. And now be very careful not to spill what's down here. This came out of that engine, and that's actually not all that came out of it. It was actually full of water when we first got it. Now I know I'm going to kick this over, so it needs to get scooted. If you're new around here and you didn't know about the extreme engine swap series that went on over on the regular Freeman's Garage channel, all of that is linked down in the video description. So after you're done watching this video, you can go down in the description and click on the link and check out the engine swap series. It was a engine with a cracked block we took out of this, and then we bought an engine from a swap meet and put it in here. And let me tell you, it was a pretty wild engine swap. Definitely worth watching. We are below the add mark, so we know that we are at least 1 quart low. Got about 1 more quart sitting here on hand. We'll dump that in right now. We got to put some screws in that valve cover and tighten it down, because we had that off over on the regular Freeman's Garage channel when we were doing the swap, because we ran into a bunch of issues. So we'll put screws in here, otherwise the oil that we pour in here is just going to leak out from underneath it. Everything is right where we left it all, right here on top of the radiator. We do actually need to rob some hardware off of our old engine, but we don't need to do all that right now. We're just doing some preparation, so that over on the regular Freeman's Garage channel, we can do a proper test drive. And the proper test drive, of course, will be without the hood on. Oh man, I smell somebody's Sunday fried chicken. Smells delicious. Alright, let's put our oil in. No, didn't do it perfect. We do have a mixture of oil weights in here, 2050 and 1540. It was just what was on hand here at Freeman's Garage, just to be able to get the engine fired up, because during the engine swap series there was an unexpected extra oil change. I'll do the tough guy thing and throw stuff around. I brought my magnet on the stick up here with me. Try to have it nearby wherever I am, because I always need it. And I actually dropped one of these valve cover bolts down onto the floor, and I was able to get it from here. Gotta have it, man. I'll put a link down in the video description for a bunch of different options for these, if you want to snag something similar to it. We'll let that oil find its way down into the bottom of the oil pan before we pull the dipstick out and check it. Makes no point to do it right now. So let's move on to doing something with our battery securing situation. The battery needs to be secured in some fashion, whether it's zip ties or something. We'll figure that out here in a quick second. We just don't want it to fall into the fan, and since our test drive will be without a hood, and things might get a little buck wild, you never know. We might get a little generally up our tail, right? So we don't want the battery to bounce out of the truck. If you haven't been following along with the engine swap series, then you probably don't know what all that cardboard mess is all about. Just know that it's got something to do with the Ford Motor Company. And again, everything is linked down in the video description so you can watch after this. And I think a ratchet strap is going to be plenty to hold the battery in place for our test drive. This is the General Motors recommended size battery, what the book calls for this truck. But our test drive is going to require something much larger, and so it doesn't fit in the battery. Well, just watch the videos if you haven't, you'll see. The next thing on the list for preparation is to plug this port. This piece of tape is just temporary. The original engine for this truck right here that we took out, it's got a plug in the same spot because this truck has manual brakes, doesn't have power brakes. I'm pretty sure power brakes is what they were running on that swap meet engine and whatever truck that came out of. So we will just get this plug out of here, put it in the other engine, and have a feeling that it's probably not going to go easy. No, it's not. We'll see what happens if we hammer a 1/2-inch wrench on here. And then we'll take this 5/8 and we'll double it up and we'll see what happens. All I can tell you is we're not going to tip this engine stand over. It's the last thing we want to do here. Yeah, see, that's not easy on the wrist, the jointages, the tools, the hands, the face that's probably gonna get cut by a flying wrench. Yeah, that's not gonna work. Matt got to know his limitations. So we'll use this jack handle if we need it, but we are going to just start with the wrench. I've been waiting to use these. Waiting. Aren't new tools exciting? Oh. I don't want to flip this engine stand over. Let's put this on. Let's put the jack handle on. There we go. Still couldn't have done it without my new wrench. Let's check the oil. I'm sure it's all settled by now. If a piece of equipment has been sitting overnight, you don't need to pull the stick out, wipe it off, put it back in, pull it out, look at it. But in our case, we will. Okay, so we are inside the lines between the add and the full mark, which means we are in the hash marks. The stick doesn't have hash marks, but you know what I mean. We are above the full mark. We are not full, but we are above the full mark. So that means that we are most likely less than 1 quart low. I would not be afraid to run a GM General Motors 250 cubic inch straight six like this at that oil level. We're not going to, even though we're probably only gonna put, I don't know, a couple dozen miles maybe on this engine, and then we're gonna do an oil and filter change again, which technically would be the third time, but we want to play it safe. I want to take a look at this right front tire. It's a wee bit low. On a video over on the regular Freeman's Garage channel, we did discover a screw in this tire while we were laying underneath the truck. So that screw's going to have to come out. It's going to have to get patched. But we're good for this test drive. It's been sitting like this for days, so I'm not too worried about it going all the way down on the test drive, but we also don't want to run it low because these aren't bias plies, these are steel built-in radials. We don't want to ruin the sidewalls. I wonder if we can see the screw. I don't know where it is, but it don't really matter right now. I'm going to stick my hand in this spider's home. That's how you know this truck's been sitting here for a long time. 20 pounds? I say we squeeze in a good 10 pounds or so. You don't need to be very precise at this moment. And I can't believe this spider has not tried to bite me yet. And go ahead, place your bets in the comments. Am I going to end up kicking this oil pan before this video is over? Oh, there he is. Oh, he just got blown away. Oh, no, he's back. He doesn't look upset. I think he likes me. His name is Larry. I really just named the spider in front of him. I remember when men were men. Oh, did I break that? Good thing it was 99 cents. This carb here is a Carter YF. It came on our swap meet engine when we got it. Let's set that out. Hurt my knuckle. Let's set that on our old engine just so that it can't fall and get broken, and then we can put those nuts on and those nuts won't get lost. That's an HEI distributor that was in the engine when we got it. During the series we ended up putting the points in. You know all that if you've seen all the videos. So let's get that carburetor moved and then get all these tools and stuff out of here. That's got to get out. Can't test drive it like that. Well, we could, but we're not going to. And I just remembered at some point in the swap meet engine series on Freeman's Garage, we had dropped a 9/16 wrench down in the cowl. So let's get that out with our magnet on a stick. If I can get it out, that is. This might not actually fit in here. Might have to, might have to bend metal to get this in there. I don't want to do that. That's why I'm gonna order a bunch of different magnets on a stick that have different size magnets to fit into different areas. Is this wider? Okay, you're able to fit in there. Okay, now here's where it gets tricky. I can't believe you're watching this, by the way. Hey, it's nice having someone to hang out with. Aha! You gotta outsmart the system. Okay, now how do we get the magnet out? No, because we don't have such a forgiving rounded edge now. Oh, I guess it's just here forever. No, we better try a little bit more. I mean, we could leave it there and just tell people it's a radio antenna. Why do I do what I do? When I do what I do? When I do what I do, what I do? Don't tell anybody I did this, alright? I don't like that. No, I don't like this. I don't we were to bend this, it's never gonna be the same ever again. Could probably notice it from 50 feet away too. I might just cut this thing. The stick part of the magnet. Why did I do that? Oh, that was easy. I just had to do it from that direction. Okay, nothing's bent. We're beautiful. We're beautiful. I just dropped a ratchet down to the floor, and I could have retrieved it 5 minutes ago, but I can't find the magnet on the stick that I was using 5 minutes ago. If you could see it somewhere, that'd be hilarious. I really don't know where it is. I'll use a different one. This one's got a flashlight. What are your thoughts about the myth of putting a battery directly on a concrete floor? Does a concrete floor drain the battery, or is it really just a myth? We'll go with the cardboard in this case, and we will stow away our handle. I'm sticking some used rags down on the engine cross member on the frame. There's a bunch of old oil and milkshake that came out of this engine that's all pulled up down there. So instead of wasting a whole roll of towels, shop towels, just using these dirty ones that are still able to soak up some oil. Let's set this distributor loosely in our old engine, that way so it doesn't get broken or anything. It'll go in a parts bin or something, but for right now, just getting it off the truck and off the floor, and there's no place safer than right there. We got plenty of oil in this engine. We got all the tools and all the mess that could get us into a bunch of problems all cleaned up and out of here. We got a strap here for when we put our special battery in for the test drive. We got some air in that tire. Other than that, it's basically just a bunch of random stuff that needs to get out of here. I don't want that toolbox falling off onto the roadway, if you know what I mean. But that's boring. You don't want to watch me do that, do you? The entire 1967 Chevy C10 swap meet engine swap series is over on the regular Freeman's Garage channel. And that's where you're going to see the timing get set on the swap meet engine, and the 1-barrel carburetor get tuned, and that's where you'll get to go out on the road in this truck with me and go for its maiden test drive. Subscribe, like, and share to Freeman's Garage and Freeman's Garage Extra if you would. I appreciate that. That's the only way this channel grows. Everything is linked down in the video description. There's something else up on the screen now for you to watch next if you want, and I hope you're doing well. I really mean that.